Tonight, the economy is picking up in the Peace region with new gas projects announced. Tragedy strikes on the Lower Mainland as a bus crash claims a child's life. And a church concert is being held for a good cause in the Mile Zero city. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Hugh Smith. Pembina Pipeline Corporation has announced a couple of major projects here in the Peace region that will be getting underway next year. The company says they will be going ahead with developing the North Central Liquids Hub just outside of Dawson Creek. The project is expected to cost $320 billion and will support the Cutbank Ridge Partnership in the Montney gas field. The hub is expected to be in service by the end of 2018. Pembina says they are also planning to extend their Peace and Northern pipeline systems with the hope of completing both by the end of next year. A recital is taking place tonight at First Baptist Church. The concert, called Place at the Table, is being held to help Dawson Creek's less fortunate. CJDC's Eric Tashner has a preview of the performance.
It's named after this worship song. The Place at the Table was inspired by co-founder Linda Studley to help those who live impoverished within the Peace region.
Everybody needs to have a place at the table. When we think of Christmas, we obviously often think of food. I mean, that's the eating with people, you know, being fed not just with food, but spiritually.
We as a songwriters group have always prided ourselves in having a lot of different genres that we literally bring to the table.
The Place at the Table was first performed 18 years ago, and Studley says they make around $1,000 each year, adding up to almost $18,000 that goes to the Salvation Army Food Hamper program.
In 2000, when we were talking about what we could do to give back to the community, and when we came up with the idea of Place at the Table, actually my husband and I wrote a song about it, and that song's been played at every single concert. It's sort of the theme.
Doors open at 6 tonight and the concert gets underway at 7. Monroe says performing is a great way to get into the Christmas spirit and think about the people who are less fortunate than us.
We thought, what better way to give back to the community than by having a concert and just take more or less like a free will offering, cash donation at the door.
Every penny that comes in goes directly to the Salvation Army. We always have a representative from the Salvation Army who comes to the concert, and we present them with the money at the end.
10 local musicians will be performing with a mix of Christmas carols and original songs. Eric Tashner, CJDC TV News, Dawson Creek.
A 9-year-old girl who was hit by a bus in Abbotsford, BC, has died from her injuries. Abbotsford police say emergency services were called just after 8 a.m. Friday to treat the girl who was struck by the bus at a crosswalk. She was taken to the hospital but later died from her injuries. Several departments are investigating the death, including the Major Crime Unit and BC Commercial Vehicle Safety. BC Transit President Manuel Achadina says in a statement he is, quote, extremely saddened to hear of the girl's death, and the agency's thoughts are with her, family, the driver, and others who witnessed the event. New numbers from Statistics Canada show British Columbians are returning to work. StatsCan says the unemployment rate in this country dropped to 5.9% last month, down 0.4% from its October setting to reach its lowest level since February of 2008. BC's rate was also down by 1 basis point to 4.8% in November. The organization says almost 80,000 jobs were created across Canada last month. The highest-ranking former Trump administration official Michael Flynn has pled guilty to lying to the FBI. In a statement, Flynn said his plea and decision to cooperate was in the best interest of his family and the country. ABC's Serena Marshall has more.
Former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn arrived in court this morning pleading guilty after being charged with lying to the FBI. The special counsel charged Trump's former senior advisor with knowingly lying to the FBI about the nature of those infamous phone calls and text messages between himself and then Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak. One call happened the same day the Obama administration imposed new sanctions on Russia for their election meddling. That's also the same call Flynn was fired for lying to the vice president about just 1 month into the job. The December 2016 calls raised red flags for the Obama administration and led to them advising President Trump against selecting Flynn as his national security advisor, citing concerns he was vulnerable to being blackmailed by the Russians.
Very serious charges themselves, but also an indication that Bob Mueller is getting some very important cooperation.
But even after his firing, the president still supported Flynn.
I don't think he did anything wrong. If anything, he did something right.
And former FBI Director James Comey says the president in private asked him to let the Flynn investigation go. Flynn faces up to 5 years in prison and is considered a key figure in the investigation.
There appears to be a lot of evidence that people around the president have had interactions with the Russians, and that some of it may have violated the law.
Pleading guilty to lying mirrors George Papadopoulos, Trump's former campaign policy advisor, who is now cooperating with the special counsel.
The White House says Mr. Flynn's false statements mirror the false comments he made to them and implicates no one other than Mr. Flynn. But in court today, prosecutors said Flynn called senior members of the campaign in between those phone calls to the Russian ambassador. Serena Marshall, ABC News at the U.S. District Court.
And now, because it's Friday, it's time to check in with Wendy Davies down at the South Peace BC SPCA.
Hello, friends and supporters. Thank you for joining us at the South Peace at BC SPCA. If you're like me, I can't believe it's December already. We're rolling into Christmas, and we're excited because we had 11 animals adopted in the last week. 9 cats, a dog, and a hamster. We'd like to congratulate the families of Tika, Sonic, Melody, Stan, Miss Mayhem, Midnight, Elsa, Darwin, Monty, and Jelly and Dwight. We'd like to congratulate those families. We wish them all the best over this holiday season. We all have those friends over Christmas that don't really need anything. Maybe they've got everything they need and you're stumped on what to get them for Christmas. For those animal lover friends of yours that have everything they need, perhaps you could make a donation to the animals in need here in their name. If you would like to do that, just come down and see us. We can think of a fun thing to do. Maybe we could give you a story and a picture of an animal that was helped this year for you to give them, and we can get them a Christmas card letting them know that you made a gift on behalf of them for the animals. So just visit us at the shelter if you'd like to do that for a friend or family of yours, or call us at 250-782-2444. 2017 has certainly been the year of the cat in Dawson Creek. We have celebrated over 300 spay and neuter surgeries all the way up to the end of October. We have seen a decrease of kittens coming in from the city from 73% in 2015 to 30% in 2017. There's still a month left to sign up your cats for spay and neuter. If you live in the city of Dawson Creek, please come see us as soon as possible. You don't want to miss out on this amazing offer supplied by the grant by PetSmart Charities of Canada. So come on down and make sure to get your cat fixed this year. There is still a couple weeks left to get the amazing doghouse tickets for the doghouse donated by Celtic Construction. We'd like to thank them for the absolutely beautiful doghouse donated this year, and the draw will be before Christmas. So perhaps you'd like to buy a couple tickets for a Christmas gift for somebody you know. You'll also win a gift certificate for Dawson Creek Veterinary Clinic as well as Total Pet. So don't miss out on tickets for this amazing doghouse. Only $2 each, and dogs like Peggy would absolutely love hanging out in that over the summer and enjoying some shade. There are a couple more ways to support the animals this Christmas. We'll have our holiday Christmas list up on Facebook right away. You can pick up some gifts for the animals to bring them on down. We will also be holding our annual holiday adoption program, so you can sign up today to bring an animal home over the holiday season. We want to make sure that everybody has a family and a home to visit this holiday season, so you can take a homeless animal home and give them a wonderful Christmas. So come sign up for the holiday foster program program, bring down some gifts for the animals, and help support us over the holiday season. We won't be here next weekend, but we look forward to seeing you again mid-December. We thank you all for your care and support.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, but first, here's what's happening where you live in tonight's community events.